Hello everyone. Hey, thank y'all for checking out my channel. In this one I'm going to give you a twofer. We're going to visit two state parks. Earlier this year I went camping with my wife and grandkids to Jacksonport State Park. It's used to be a community there, and it had it's got an old courthouse. Now that old courthouse is pretty neat. It shut down, and then it was a Grange Inn, and then it sit abandoned for a long time. Well, they come in and restored it, and that place, the campsites are very well spaced apart. Man, that I'm gonna tell you, that's a hidden gem here in Arkansas. Not too many people I think know about it, so I debate on whether giving it up on my channel or not, because it's one of my go-to places when everything else is full. But the second part of the video, we went camping like a few weeks later to Woolly Hollow State Park. Now that state park was originally they developed a lake, and they were studying the silt, and that's what that was for. And back in the 30s, the conservation crew came in and made that lake. Well, they made a state park out of it, and then Woolly Hollow was named after the Woolly family, and the original log cabin that those people lived in is in that state park. And I've got pictures of that in the video too. I rode around that park, and then I went riding outside of the park, and there's some hills and some pastures, and it was just a really pretty scenery and real pretty country up there. So, yeah, and I hope you enjoy it, and I will chat back in with you again shortly. visitor center has a museum in it. It's fairly new. It used to be in a little bitty building, and they just built this one on the next to the river. It's nice. They've got, you know, a small gift shop in the bottom of it, and then upstairs is where that museum is. And it's got a lot of interesting facts about the history there in that region. Said that was Jacksonport was a riverport town, and it was a real popular place. And well, the railroad, when they built the railroad come through, they offered to put it there. Well, the people in Jacksonport didn't want it, so about, I don't know, about 5 to 6 miles away, they built put the railroad through there and developed Newport and built a new courthouse there. So of course, you know, once that was done, then the city started to decline a whole lot. It's still a small town that's there. There's a few people that still live there, not that many. And then where the state park is, all that used to be a part of the town. And I mean, if you read the history on it, it had hotels and saloons and stores, and it was really neat. Anyway, the houses and all that, you know, none of that's there, just the foundation. But if you go in the old courthouse, there's a museum in there as well, and they had found artifacts from the, you know, people who used to live there. During the Civil War, the city changed hands several times between the Confederacy and the Union. The Union, the Confederates that were in that area towards the end of the war gathered there, and that's where that monument and cannon are. Anyway, they gathered right there and surrendered to the Union Army. There used to be an old steamboat in this area where it's flooded, and that steamboat was there. They used to, I guess you used to ride, I don't know if you could ride it, but you go on there and they had a museum in it too. Anyway, it burned, and they never have replaced it, unfortunately. What?
I looked up on the top of the camper. Where are you going?
Huh?
Where are you going?
I'm just going to that road closure there to get the video.
Are you only going like in front of you?
Yeah, I ain't going down there right now. Them snakes down there. Getting dark.
I know. You said that you're going to go see those frogs down there when it gets nice.
Well, the frogs over here make that noise.
That.
No, it's a bird. They ain't doing it right now.
What means this?
This means you can't go drive any further than that because the road's flooded down there. As you can see, the park was flooded when we were there, and just beyond that, where the road closure thing is, there's a toilet thing set out there. But anyway, there's a playground and there's sand, and then they got this big old beach. So when the river is low or low enough, they can go in there and you can lay out there and swim. As a matter of fact, we went there last year and we did go swimming. And I'm gonna tell you something about water. It was in July and it was hot, and that water's ice cold. They got a big picnic area, and then you can go in there and you can play volleyball and all that. I mean, it's a huge area. My advice, if you go, is to go in the fall. We went in the summer. We've been both in the fall and the summer. Now, in the fall, really nice. So the summer it's hot and humid in Arkansas, but not just that, but that area, mosquitoes are really bad. And then this time that we went, this one, of course, with all the water and the flooding, the snakes got really bad. So, but normally, you don't have to worry about that as much, and it's just a really neat park. Willie Hollow State Park, as I said before, it was originally they dug that little lake there, and they did tests on a watershed, and apparently this was the first one that they did this in, and it's located in Arkansas, of course. I think in the early 70s is when they come in and made that a state park. Now the park's named after the Woolley family that had a log cabin, and they came in and settled that area, and the family built this log cabin. And I want to say it's the early 1800s, and I've got a picture on there, and you can pause the video and read it if you want to. But it's old, and anyway, you know, it's pretty neat because they got that where you can look at that. Now the old visitor center, right past it, was real small, and you had that on one side, and then on the other side you had the which still has, it was a little hamburger joint thing where you can go in there and order hamburgers, hot dogs, nachos, and that kind of thing. Now recently, within the last couple of years, they built the new visitor center, and they went in and remodeled the park, and the campsites are a lot bigger. one thing I want to tell you is my fifth wheel's about 34 foot long, and the right side as you go into that camping area was built, even though they remodeled it, it's old, so it was made for smaller campers. And I had, because it's so tight in there, I had a hard time backing my fifth wheel in, and I had to end up going in the grass a little bit to get it in there. Now, a couple of years ago we went, and I parked on the back side where the new part is, and it wasn't no problem there. I got it in pretty easy. So just, you know, keep that in mind if you do decide to go there. That used to be an unknown area, and it was one of my go-to places, but now everybody knows about it, so it stays full. So you know, you have to have reservations to get in there. And the last time we went, it was full. We just lucked out and got a space.